Happy 4th of July, everyone. This is Rob the Backyard Gardener, and I figured I would go ahead and give you an update on my kiwi vines. They were started from seed May 3rd of last year, so they're just about 14 months. Actually, they're a day past 14 months. I need to do some training and some trimming, and I'm just testing a few experimental things out, and I thought I better give you an update, show you what I'm doing, so that way you can see the progress along with me each month. So let's go take a look at these crazy kiwi vines. The kiwi vines are going crazy, guys. So you know what? We're gonna have to come up with a system here, and this is not gonna be per code. Technically, what you want on kiwi vines is you want to grow them up a straight post, and this post typically is just a guiding post to let the plant reach a height, because it's a binding plant, and you don't really want it to wrap around the post. You want to keep it from wrapping around the post, because this part's going to be the trunk and it's going to get pretty thick. And what you really want is you want a T-post up here. And kiwi vines can support almost up to 100 pounds of fruit. I don't know if I'm going to get fruit on my kiwi vines. This is more of an experiment, but I figure if I'm going to experiment with it, I better at least get it somewhat set up the way that it needs to. So I buried a 1-inch post into the ground deep right in front of my grapevine, and what I'm going to do now is I've been training the vine along here, and I've removed all of these vining ones that were running along this fence right here. And guys, let me just show you how long this is. I mean, we have some length here. That's probably 10 feet. And I was letting it run along this fence, but that's silly. That's not a permanent situation. However, you want it to be like a grapevine, and you want it to kind of send off side shoots that run along a wire. So in this case, right now, I don't have anything at the height that I want, and you want them at least 6 to 8 feet above the ground before you start getting some side shoots. And since we already have several side shoots on this one, down here as well, this is the one that goes out this way, I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and trim these side shoots off and let this focus its energy on this straight leader here. And I'm not gonna worry about going left or right now. Most likely when I trim back my grapevine this year, I'm not gonna have any of this top vine. I'm just gonna focus on the lower 3-foot mark vine, and that's what I wanna grow grapes on next year. So I can use this top section here for the kiwi. So the kiwis will be up high, the grapes will be down low. That's the theory. May or may not work, but I wanted to give you an update on what I'm doing with this vine. And then the ones that are over here are also going bonkers as well. We've got kiwi vines wrapping up along this trellis. Look at this one. I just noticed it the other day. It's wrapped itself up to where the Gala apple tree is. We've got kiwi vines growing into my watermelon over here. Kiwi vines down over here. They're everywhere, guys. So I'm just gonna top these guys. Anything that's not straight up, anything that's coming off to the sides, I'm just gonna go ahead and top them. We've got some good growth going on here, so I'm not disappointed in it, but I don't really want all these vines over here, and I don't think this is gonna work out for me. So I'm hoping, I don't wanna pull any of these plants out because there could be some male and females here. So I'm gonna top these ones over here. I'm gonna try to get this one to grow up or trunk straight up, and then let it run across a couple of wires that I put in the winter. And then I'll show you the other two on the other side of the yard, and I'm not gonna touch those. So we're gonna do 3 different things. We're not gonna touch the other ones. We're gonna try to grow this one vertically, clipping off all of the side shoots. And then these I'm gonna top as much as possible. All right, guys, at my Brandywine greenhouse, we have a kiwi vine down here. Got an old leaf on it. We'll take that old leaf off, but it's growing. It wrapped around this tomato cage. It's wrapped up here, and now it's been wrapping up my tomato, and it's coming out the top here. So we're gonna have to do something with this guy. I think what I'm gonna do with this guy is like the ones over there that I said I was gonna top. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and top this guy too. Maybe top him up here. These things are already so tough. Once they touch something, they really focus their energy on strengthening the vine here, and pretty much creating like a concrete vine that just won't move, which is probably why they say you don't want it to vine around something as you're trying to grow it straight up. So since it's already done that, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to just chop it right there because I want to get this guy refocused on growing straight up again. Here's the original 2 viners that I had from last year, and you can clearly see that one's growing up this post, wraps up in here. It's vining, crazy. And then the one that was not at last year, which started a new vine, has grown up and around, up this pole, and is wrapping all along here. I am not going to change the way that these are growing for now. These, I'm just gonna let them vine like crazy. I'm gonna wrap around here. I'm just gonna probably end up putting some kind of little arbor up here, and we're just gonna let them keep on growing and growing and growing. In the meantime, I wanted to show you, these guys look good. They look healthy. Beautiful velvety green leaves. They get these little tiny leaves when they first start to vine, and in a matter of no time, they get to these sizes, then these sizes, and then they just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, the size of a wide open hand. I mean, this guy, that's a pretty big leaf. All right, guys, let's go back to this side of the yard so I can finish topping those plants, so I can finish cutting off the side shoots on those and get all these kiwis buttoned up with the different methods that I'm trying. Well, as much as it pains me to cut off of anything, we're gonna do it. Wow, that hurts. I think what I'll do though is I'll try to propagate this guy. I'll cut it in a couple sections and see if I can get it propagated. And then we also have this other vine running along here. This is the one that's like 12 feet. So, as much as it pains me, we had to do it too. And so now we've got both sections there. I think I'm gonna leave this side shoot for now. Just for now, so it doesn't lose a lot of its foliage. I've already trimmed off probably 60% of this plant, and I don't know what it's gonna do, so that's enough trimming on this one. Now on to these guys. So, I like that this one's growing straight. I wanna top it. I wanna get a couple of different examples here. And we're just gonna top this guy right at this node. And we'll put that off to the side. I know we've got another kiwi, that's pretty good. We'll leave that alone. This one's growing like crazy. I think what we'll do is we'll top it right at this growth point here. Like that. And we'll leave those guys kind of on their own. And now looking in here, I see that we have another kiwi growing. And I see we have a growth point there, so I'm just going to chop this guy right there as well. Put that in there. And we'll pull this guy out of the fence here and let him kind of grow straight up. So that already looks a lot better. On this guy over here, I don't really see any great nodes. I think I'm just going to chop him this last big leaf. Put that down there. And then we have, looks like we have another one wrapping around itself here. We don't want that. So let's just go ahead and chop this bad boy. These guys really wrap around each other. It's crazy. It's like they start off really soft and velvety, but once they grab onto something, it's like they stiffen and harden up. So they're almost impossible to remove once they start getting a little solid. And it looks like we got a kind of a mess over here. So we'll chop this guy. Here's a nice growth point coming in. We'll chop them at the growth point. And then we can pull all this out of the fencing. And guys, I think I'll leave this one vining like it is. But that kind of cleans up this area a little bit. My watermelons can spread out a little better, and the kiwis can focus on some side growth, kind of like that right there. Some new growth like this. They're looking good overall. And we'll kind of leave it like that, and we'll see how they do over the next month. So there you have it, guys. I'm really not sure if this will do much, but I'm willing to give it a go. I'm going to take these indoors in my indoor grow room so they're not in any direct sunlight. We'll give it a month or so until they die or they produce roots, and if they do produce roots, then we know the propagation method work. I'll keep you updated on the next update on these to see if they get roots. May not, may just be a waste of my time, but I just didn't want to discard them for nothing if there's a chance they can produce additional kiwi vines. So there you have it, everyone. That's my update on the kiwi vines at 14 months. I know we're a little bit all over the board on methods, but I'm learning as I grow with these. I know I don't have them set up as if I was a commercial farmer. I'm not trying to raise commercial plants. I'm not trying to grow kiwi fruits in abundance. If any of these methods work, I'm likely just gonna keep the trees as dwarfed and trimmed as possible. And who knows, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but please keep following along, and if you're enjoying the series, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions on what I can do differently with the space that I have, please leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching.